Alright, welcome back to the second section of this night's course. We are live once again. You are welcome for this section this night. Let me know if you can hear me. This is the second section for this night. Earlier we were cut off by network and we are back again. Drop in the group that we are live. If you can hear me, also let me know on this chat if you can hear me. Kindly drop a chat in the chat box and let me know if you can hear me. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Let me know. Welcome back to automated Excel data entry. Welcome back. Kindly let me know if you can hear me. Beautiful, loud and clear. Beautiful, beautiful. We are going to finish up this session this night. I'm very much determined that we finish this. We finish this and automated data entry so that tomorrow we will get straight into analysis. I want us to go straight into predictive analysis. Alright, we will move straight to stuff. Now, I said earlier that we will get to build our database having gotten our entry form in this manner. We opened another sheet where we named it HR database. This is HR form. Now, we are going to copy the field names. We are going to copy the field names, which is this from employee ID down to salary. And then say Ctrl C, go to our HR database. In that HR database, let's say I want to paste it here. Instead of pasting it straight, let me go to paste, come to paste special, select values, and then transpose, so that instead of it pasting vertically, it will be pasted horizontally, and then I put here OK. Now we have this pasted as values. Now we can also format. We can also format it to control and then make it bold, and let's say we make it white, and we come here, we make it blue to maintain the color we are using. Now this will be our database. This will be our database. As we can see, these are the values. These are the field names. Alright, now having done this, the next we do is to create another sheet. Let's create another sheet, and here I will call this demo. You will see why we need it. I will call it demo. Okay, someone said the screen is not clear. Go to your YouTube, increase the quality of your video. At this moment, you might be using 220, or increase it to 320 to 480 kind of. It will be clear. It will be clear is your video quality. Okay, now having said that, we have demo, we have HR database. Okay, the name is already taken. We make it, let me call it demo 2. Okay, now what we will do is, having set up this, we are going to use macros to We are going to use macros to automate our work. Let me zoom in a bit. We are going to use macros to automate our work. Please, I said increase your video quality from your channel, from where you are watching from. Go to settings on your YouTube, increase the video quality. That way it will be clear for you. Let's do that. Let's do that way here. All right. Now, having done this, having gotten our database and then our demo, the next thing we are going to do is to record macros. And to do that, we need to go to our developers tab. We have to go to developer tab. You click on this, and if you don't have this developer tab on your Excel, just anywhere here, right click and go to customize ribbon. When you right click, you go to customize ribbon, and then you come to this place. Ensure you check this. If it's not marked good on your PC, your Excel, ensure to click on it so that it will be selected, and then you say, okay, I already have the developer tab. So once you come to developer tab, you come over to this and say record macros. So once you click on it, it will ask you what name do you want to assign to this macro. Let's say I want to assign it HR. Let's say I want to assign it to HR, and then I say, once I click OK, anything I'm doing, Excel is recording it. Everything I'm doing, Excel is recording it. So what I will do here is I will come here and say, okay, macro has started. As you can see here, it's saying stop recording. So once that is done, I will come over to this place. I will copy everything here. Say Control C. Now for there, I will go to my demo first. Now in this demo, I will come here. Let's say I want to paste it from here. In this demo, instead of pasting instead of saying Control V, I will go to Home and then come to Paste and say Paste Special. I select value so that even the ones with formulas and functions will not be there. Then I will say Transpose, and then I will come over to this place and say OK. Now that is what we have. The next thing I will do is I will press Ctrl C to copy everything and then move down to my HR database. Please follow me very well. Go to my HR database, come over to this. This is where I want it to be. And then instead of pasting it straight, I will not paste it straight. I will go to Insert. Click on Insert and then say Insert Copied Cells. I will select Insert Copied Cells. And now once I click on it, it will say Shift Cells Down. There is also an option Shift Cell Right. If on your own this is what you have, select this one. Select the second one. Ensure you select Shift Cells Down. Why is it so? So that whenever you receive data, Excel, this one will push down for the new one to enter. But if it's not so, they will be replacing each other. It will be that when you receive new data, it will replace the old one. But we want to build a database where every employee rather, once they enter their details into the database, it will be part of the database. All right. Now once that is done, I will say okay. Now everything we have here is this. Then we can come over to this. Where is it? We have this. we have that our date of birth now is in number. We format it and make it to be in short dates, and also we can come over to this, where is it, employment hire date, come to hire date, also make it short date. I think we also have another date here, which is probation end date. Select this, and also make it short dates. All right, we have formatted this rightly. So once that is done, we head back to our form. We head back to our form and then start to delete everything here. We head back to our form and start to delete this we have here. Start to remove them. Okay, then we come over to this, ensure you delete them one after the other. Now these ones are functions, you remember, so you don't do anything to it, and then we delete this. Now once you are done, you can go back and click here. This is the macro. This is your macros, and then once you are done here, you head back to your developer and then stop macro. Now this is what we need to do. Now having done that, the next we now have to do is to ensure that our form is well designed. Our form is well designed. We can come here and let's say we have this. Go to home, let's merge it. We can call it ABC Limited, for example, and then let's use these fonts. Increase this, make it center and the middle, and then we can come here as well, merge and say, and call it employee profile form, for example, whatever the name the organization wish to call it, and then we can select this, make this as well, or we leave it at the black, and then let's maintain the same font. All right, now we have this. This is becoming our form. We can select this down like this. Okay, once that is done, we can select that and come to border, and select outside border, and then we can also go to this, go to more border. Under this we can select thick border, apply to it, come to the color, we can select this blue, apply to it as well, and I think that is okay by me. All right, this is what we have. Let me reduce it a bit. This is what we have. So here I'm going to select everything here. Or I'm going to select everything down here and make it this, and everything from here. Control Shift forward, and make it this as well. All right, I'm trying to make this form to look a bit nice. Then Control Shift down, and then select this as well, so as to show as if it's standing alone. All right, so we have this now. So we can go to picture. No, not compress picture. We can go to picture color. We might have to give it this color or this color. Anyone, let's say we give it this. Now, that is what our button looks like when it's not fully completed. All right, so we select this, come to this, and we make it the same color width. Do the same to this as well. All the stuff we have here, we make it the same color as the background. So as we are having a standalone form such as this, let me zoom in a bit. So this is what we have. This is the form we have. Now, having done this, the next thing we are going to do is to now make this form clickable to submit. Clickable, having made our form to be this. The next thing, let's remove the grid lines and go to view and say, and disable grid lines. We have stuff such as this. All right, now the thing is to come to this picture, which is our submit, right click on it. Once we right click on it, you will see this option called assign macro. Assign macro, you select, this comes out, you select your HR macros, and you say okay. Now once that is done, if you come here, you see that now it can be clicked. Now let's now check and see if what we did is correct. Let's say this one, this is 112, and the name is let's say Avis N-O. Let's say the gender male, date of birth 19 to, let's say, age. I don't have time to calculate that. There is I forgot to do. There is a formula you use when you know the date of birth. You use that formula to calculate the current age of the employee. So, but now let's say this is let's say it's 43, and then marital status, let's say marriage, nationality is Nigeria, and then contact number email address, home address, let's say 12 Asega Street, for example, and emergency contact 080, then emergency, this is emergency name, excuse me, emergency name, let's say Donald, number 8083, whatever the number is. Let's say employment type full-time, job title, let's say the job title customer marketing executive, let's say department is Department of Marketing, supervisor name Mr. Let's say Mrs. Sandra, employment status is active, this is here, and the salary, let's say, is, now this, you see something here shows is active, so it shows active. So let me right click here, go to picture, let me bring the normal color, which is this, so that shows active. So you can see, because this is fully completed, this shows blue. So if I come here and click submit, everything is gone, then we are back to stuff like this. Everything is gone and we are back to this. Now let's check our database. You see that what we've done is already entered. Everything here, all the information is here, and the thing you notice is that this one pushed this down. If another stuff comes, it will push it down again. Because of time, I don't have much of the time to enter again. On your own, you can enter as many as possible. So whenever any person comes, click and enter, the form will be submitted. Now, the next thing I want to show you here is that what we have here, also you can open another workbook within this Excel. This is within the same workbook. You have the database here and the form here. However, this your database and your demo can be in a separate workbook. Bear that in mind. This your database and demo can be in a separate workbook. And then when you submit, it will go to that workbook. Let's say, for example, you design this and give it to your admin, and the person working as your admin in the office. So the only thing he does is that when a new employee comes, we give employee this form to fill, and they click submit. They don't know where it's submitted. They know that they have submitted. So you don't want them to have access to the database, just them to click and submit their own information. You don't want them to have access to other person's information to see what is that. You can open another database. So let me press Ctrl N to open another workbook. This is a new workbook. Let me minimize it. This is a new workbook. I minimize it and then minimize this one as well. Let me minimize this one as well. And I just want us to see both of them on one side. So let me position this here, and let's drag this down, and let me position this here as well, and let's drag it down. Now here, let me call it HR database. Let's say I call it 2, and then this one, let me make it demo as well. Now here, what will happen is I'm going to repeat the whole stuff I did earlier. I'm going to repeat that. So here, what I will do is, let me from here to here, and then let me say, let me remove field. All right, now we have this. I need to see what we have here. Then let's enter this again. Let me have 103. This one I'm going to be fast, and gender female, date of birth, whatever it is, age, marital status, let's say this, in this, and the contact number, email address. Please, these details are just demo, they are not real. Of course, both those dates and stuff like that, they are not real. I'm just doing this to be fast. Employment status, let's say resigned or retired. Okay, then this, I'm just putting any name there. There is a finance manager. Now we have everything set. As you can see, this is already on here. Now once that is done, we will come over to this place and go to developer and say record macros. This is our macros. We click on it, record what name, let me give it HR2, and then say okay. Okay, I need to put underscore. They say I need to put underscore in that, so it will go. All right, now macros have started. What I will do is the same thing, copy this and say Control C, come over to my demo. Now instead of pasting it straight like we have earlier, I will come over to this place and say paste special. Under this, I will say paste as values, and then transpose and say okay. Also copy it. Once I paste, I copy, Control C. Now remember, I'm in another workbook. This is a separate workbook of data entry forms. This is a new workbook of book 1, as you can see. So I will come to the database and then come over to this place. Because of time, I didn't go through putting the data, the column headers. I didn't go through putting those aspects there. So I will come here later. I can do that. Once I'm done doing the macros, I will come over to this place to paste. Instead of pasting, I will come to cell and go to insert and say insert copied sales. As we already know, insert copied sales, and it will say sheet sell down. I will say okay. That is settled. Once that is done, I will come back to my form like we did earlier. I will come back to my form like we did earlier and then delete them one after the other. That is what we will do. Delete one after the other. All right. So this is how you automate your entry. Remember, this is a function. Like you know already, this is a function. This also is a formula. So once that is done, you click here and then go to macros and stop macros. We'll go to this and we stop macro. Now once that is done, what I need to do is to assign these new macros that I just recorded to this my button here. To assign this new macro I just recorded to this my button. So what I will now do is I will come over here, right click. Now once I do that, I go to assign macros. I click on it and select HR underscore and say okay. Now that macro is assigned. Now let's do another entry. Just anything. I'm just entering anything. I don't know whether somebody bears that name. Just putting any date there. Marital status, let's say single, and nationality, let's say contact number, Gmail, at home address, emergency name, emergency contact name, Mr. DSA. This is the number. Employment type, we can say contracts. Job title, we can say IT support or graphic designer. Department of IT, supervisor name, Mr. Chan, status active, and then salary, whatever. Now automatically this becomes active. It shows we can now submit. Once I click on submit, automatically these are submitted, and you see this entry here. You see the entry here, and that is, you see that we have entry here, double entry due to some stuff in database. However, what you need to understand is you can have your form in one workbook. That's what I just want to show us. Yes, why you don't delete the date is because there are functions like this is automatic. Tomorrow Tomorrow now, this will no longer be 17, it will be 18. It will be 18. So it automatically updates. That's what the today's function does. So once this updates, this will also update. So you don't need to delete it. If you delete it, you are deleting the function as well. So when you do automations, it might not, somebody might be entering wrong date. So the person don't need to enter any date. That particular day the person is entering, that's the day it will appear. That's the date or the day it will appear for the person. So this will now be the end date for probation. This is the formula. So we don't need to delete it. We don't need to delete it. All right. Now, once we click stuff here, submit. Now, if I click anything here, it will submit, because if I click again, it will submit, because that's what his work is, to submit. So if, let's say, I just have one stuff here, if let's say I just have one stuff here, and I click submit, you see it already does that for me. Now, why you are having this now is that we need to have a table. We need to have a column header on top that will be pushing the other ones down, copied cells down. You need to have a column header here where you will be pushing, which is this. Because of time, I'm running fast in order to, which is this, Control C, and then let's come over to this place, paste it as transpose, and so we have this as our column headers. We have this as our column headers. All right, that's how you do this. So you can have this in a separate workbook and your form in another workbook. However, I need to state something clear. I need to make something clear this night. I need to make something clear this night. This, you don't change this name. You don't change this name. You don't change the sheet name. You don't change the workbook, the name of the workbook. You don't change this. Once, if I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it as book 1, because if I change it, I will have to redo this macro again. I will have to rerun the macro and assign it. Why? Because Excel is taking note of everything. Excel will take note that this macro was done in data entry form data sets under a sheet called HR form. And the next aspect of pasting it is under workbook, under book 1, under HR database 2 and demo. So if you change any of this name, it will no longer work. The macros will no longer work. Now let's try this. Let me come here and remove, let me come here and remove this from database 2 to just database and hit enter. Now watch. If I enter something here, let's say I enter this and then come to this and enter, let's say John. Let's say this now for example, and let me submit. I click on submit. You see, it shows me error. It says the VBA, the Excel VBA runtime subscribe out of range is error. There is error. Why? Because this name. If I click on debug, this is where I will see the stuff, what Excel, the program Excel wrote on its own. All these, you might not even know how to write all these VBAs. You look at this, you see all this. You don't even, all the, when you did transpose, if it's true, transpose equals true, not false. When you did transpose, everything, you see the demo 2. The demo 2, everything that was done, you see it here is this, and this is for HR2. Now it's showing you where the error is. is showing you where the error is. As you can see here, the error is at this HR database 2. Because we removed the name from HR database 2 to HR database. Now, if I come here and remove this, is now this, and I save, for example, now let's see again. Let's click on submit again. You see, I'm getting some error stuff. So it is very, very important to you that you don't do anything of any sort. This is VBA, Excel, we write the programs. We write the programs. Where is that? Okay. We still have this here. We put the space 2 and we close this. It shows us debug. So what I will do is I can now come here and say space 2 and hit enter. Now come over to this. Once I hit enter, you see automatically it now works. So you don't need to Akim, you are asking how do we put the date in the form. Have you missed? Are you not in the first section? Okay, for the dates, this is how you do it. You just type equals to today. This is the function. You type equals to today, you close the bracket, that's all. And you hit enter. That's the function to use to automatically generate current date. The current date, which is today's date. When you hit enter, you see is the same date here. Now probation end date is where you said probation will end if the company uses 3 months for probation, 1 month for probation, 2 months as the case may be. You now say equals to this plus 90 days. I'm assuming 3 months. I'm assuming 3 months. So if I say equals to this plus 90 days, which is 3 months, that's 30 working days. I hit enter. That's what gives us this. I guess that is clear enough. I guess that is clear. So I will have to delete this. Now, this is our form. Let me open this up and then finally cover up what we have here. Or what I will do is, okay, let me leave it that way. All right, now this is what we have. This becomes our entry form. Now you can use this for registration form, for school registration, for any inventory. You have your inventory, item ID, item name, item category, whatever. You can use it for your inventory form. So your staff, the person handling your inventory recording, can be doing everything and submitting, and then once goods comes in, he does that. Any stuff, sales form, and all that. Now, before we wrap it up, I would have loved to work on the invoice. I would have loved to work on the invoice form, but due to time, this is already after 10, and majority of us will have to go for service tomorrow. So I'm going to be ending this session here. In tomorrow's section, I will try to start to do the invoice form, sales invoice form, which is sales tracker, to create how we can automate sales tracker, and then move into predictive data analysis, where we will be looking at the correlation and the regression analysis. And that is where we will be wrapping up this section this night. And I want to get a feedback from us. How is the section this night? What have you learned something this night? Have you learned something this night? You can create a form like this for a client, for you can meet businesses and create a sales form for them, create an employee form for them, create a data entry form for them, and they pay you and they will be using it for their work, automated, everything calculated. That you can do. Let me see your reply, let me see your comment in the chat box. How is tonight's section? What did you benefit from this section this night? What did you benefit from this section this night? Let me see that, let me hear from us. All right, Akim Lawal, you said insightful. Thank you, much appreciated. Okay, it's on this note that we will be wrapping up this section this night. See you guys tomorrow for the last session of week. I think this is the week 3, and then we will get our project. We will get to have our project. And also, if you haven't liked this section, I will want to ask you that you go ahead and click the like button, and then make your time available tomorrow, same time 7 p.m. tomorrow, West African time. We will be live again in order to complete this week 3 section on predictive data analysis. Thank you.